パもはツヤツヤなので。
Hello Argentum, hello Oyster, hello Strawberry. Light foes, I don't want to hear it. Hello Co-op. Alright, let's quickly get through some dailies. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me start with Skyleap. Hello Pyros, hello Icy, hello Jared. Hi Munching, hi Munching. Hi DY, hi DY. You just finished the VOD. Perfect timing. Oh, I need to spend my Skyleap points. Let's go here, other trades, Skyleap point shop. What am I getting here? The more I look at Leisha, the more I see Bea. Oh, interesting. I guess I can sort of see that. I have so much more Earth Quartz than every other quartz. It's so funny. Good morning, DY. Hello, George. How's it going? Is Pacopia fun? Yes, I'm just not playing at the moment. I will be back to it as soon as I can because I'm working on GBF videos. And from watching new players and asking people, getting more ideas for more videos. I thought about not streaming today to just work on videos. I don't know. But I decided to at least be here and work on videos as well. And I think that'd be helpful because like some of you guys would be able to give suggestions on what can be talked about and what might not be. And sometimes I forget, right, as well, like whether that's like what new players need to do or what things there are. So I thought it'd be beneficial. It's 1 a.m. where I'm at, so I guess good morning. Good morning. Rupee draw there. Casino. I bet ending was a little underwhelming for you. Oh, really? That's a shame. I really enjoyed it. Hello, Samuel. Why are earrings not pity from Scratcher? Yeah, I don't know. We hope that Leisha will eventually get a 5-star from Story with Reunion. Not anytime soon, I think. I think it'll be a long time before that happens. Uh, 20 was 20. Gonna be real, they gave her star because her OG kit is too much trouble. Yep, I agree. I agree. They completely skipped over FLB because her OG kit, they would have to just say delete entirely, and they don't want to do that. So I don't see FLB happening, honestly. I was hoping for Astaroth would steal the Cosmic Egg, but that can be a later event. Oh my god. The auto mechanic is fun. The fun is one way to describe it. Hello, Sapla. You want Golden Knight FLB? Astaroth has Elpheus. Yeah, he does. Stage 3, stage 2. Evening DY. And a grammar. Yeah, any character with copy gets skimped because of how good copy is. And then the problem is because of how good copy is, many very good skills are just not copyable, right? So it goes both ways, which basically ends up meaning that only bad skills can be copied, and which means that you have one bad skill. That's the design flaw with copy, unfortunately. Proculus was kind of a bland antagonist. I think I've seen people not liking Proculus. I don't think I personally agree, honestly. I think he's inherently flawed, and that's what I like about him. And he knows his motivations are flawed too. I think that's what I like. Yeah, honestly, for copy characters to be good, they need to copy their own skill, which is already good. That's like the only way they work. Usually. Showdown. Fight with him was very cool, yeah. I enjoyed it. I like the event overall, very nice. We'll do our other skips later. Let's do the event first. Personally, I think we just didn't get enough time to get really attached with them. Yeah, pretty much, right? Pretty much. I think, though, with this sort of event in the future, since it looks like they might be tying like main story to it, I feel like we're gonna get times where we meet a character main story and then they show up in anniversary event. So we will have time to get attached to them, is what I'm trying to say. Have I done Scratch It? No, I haven't done any Gacha related things yet. I feel like me reading this event might have been a very different story than what everyone else is reading from the responses. I have seen a relative amount of negativity, yeah, which I don't agree with. I actually really enjoyed this. What do I think of the new Leisha Grant? Is she strong? I think she is strong in situations, yes. Just having access to one turn assassin is already very good. Not one turn, turn one team assassin is what I'm doing, what I'm saying. My only issue is that they try to put too much into it without proper time. I feel like that's criticism with every Grand Blue event though, because people want the story and they like the overall story, but they say it's too fast. But I think there's not much you can do within 9 chapters. Because then you create a situation where people need to read other related things, and I think they want anniversary events to be designed so that new players can come in and enjoy the event. Because if a new player comes in and it's a direct continuation of something else, then you're just going to be lost. So, yeah. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I have also the same criticism in that some parts, like, for example, if we saw more of Proculus's background and him meeting Apep and why he cares so much about Apep, I think that could have been more impactful too. As a small thing, right? I think some of the fight scenes could have lasted a bit longer. Some of them felt like they resolved very quickly, right? But I also understand the limitations and that this is not, at the end of the day, a movie or something like that. This is a 6-part or 9-part event, 9-chapter event, where they want to tell a full story. So you have to cut things. Hello, Flying Ring. Yo, I know that guy. I fought him on Rosetta's Island. Feels like it's tying up loose ends before moving forward. Yeah, maybe. Like, I imagine with things like 000, they probably had a fair amount of people. They probably lost a fair amount of people who just didn't read the event because they wanted to not get spoiled because they have to read the first part of the event. So things like that. Hey, comp. Alright, that's done. Alright, chat, should we do our gacha? Does the banner change today? No, the banner does not change today. Do we start with scratch or roulette? What should I do? Scratcher, roulette, gamba, spin, scratcher, rage bait, roulette, save scratches for last. It's maximum salt. Spin. Alright, let's spin. Let's do a little bit of spin to win action. Idealist. Here we go. Hello, NT. Spinning. I got something great for you today. Alright, Fern. I'll be the judge at that. Let's see. You could win 100 draws. Isn't that crazy? Click 5 stream streak. Very nice. Alright, 20. And earrings. Okay, 20 earrings. 20 earrings. 20. Not bad. I'm happy with 20. 20 is like average. 20 earrings. 20 also gets me to 100 pulls. Alright, ready? Click. Okay, nothing. And then one more. Click. Oh. Oh, SSR. A Prolium, Water Storm. There we go. Alright. Grand weapon ticket can be used right away. No need to hold them. It's random, so yeah, there's no need to hold them. You can use them straight away. Do you pull in the classic draw? Only when I need to, which is not often. So basically, no. I recommend if you don't know what you want, just go premium. Did I miss pulls just then? Yeah. But you have a miss scratcher because it's about to happen. Scratcher. Click. Dun, da, 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 da. Reminder, no gacha results, guys. Alright, let's see. Try your luck. Here we go. Just Sierra. Hold up. Is this a good card? Just Sierra. Maybe. Hmm. Not a great start. Not bad. Okay. Hmm. Oh no, I think it's over. Oh no, I think it's over. Okay, Sierra. Okay, Sierra. Triple pair. Alright. We come down to the last one. Once again. No, it can't be nothing, right? I'm pretty sure it has to be one of these. SSR ticket. SSR ticket. Very cool. Thanks. This is dated, right? Yeah, February 26th. Alright, let's go. 1 gold moon. I hope it's a gold moon. There's a chance it's... I don't want to jinx myself. Thank God. Alright. There we go. +1 gold moon. Wait a second. Isn't that Soshie? Didn't we just spark her? Hold up. Oh well. Nothing we could do about that. You are unbelievable. I mean, there's literally nothing I could do because Classic was expiring. So, it's just unfortunate. We could have picked another Classic character. Oh well. We take the, We take the thingamabob. Unbelievable. Did he sack? No. I just got Moon. Alright, let me see. What are we doing? Actual Classic Spark. Classic Step Up. Yeah, no, like the one before Anniversary. What do you think? Cajun, do you really think I would be dumb enough to do the things I say not to do? This guy has zero faith in me. Why would I choose Spark targets from Step Up if I told you guys I'm not even doing them. There's nothing there for me. Do you want an honest answer? Gold moons, I would rather whale. So it costs 10k, right, to buy both step ups. I would rather put those 10k to get an extra 30 pulls on a banner, is what I... to like work towards a spark. Have you got your grand ticket? Yeah, I got a moon. I forgot what moon. Moon that didn't matter, I forget. Does chat remember what I got? Because I don't remember what I got. I just discarded it from my memory. Other classic sparks don't expire. Well, I didn't know that. The banner just said March, whatever. And I thought it would be exactly like regular sparks where it doesn't let you pull. So I just chose. Maybe you're right. I feel like it would have been like regular Grand Blue where it doesn't let you pull Gacha until you choose your spark though. But maybe someone can confirm or deny. It was Zoe, that's right. It was. It was Zoe. So there was that. Hey, I'm a solo clan for now. I was thinking of recruiting some people for major events and mostly for fun, but I don't know where to start, where to post my recruitment post. Any ideas? Wikicord, there's a Reddit recruitment thread. Chat probably knows this better than I do. Chat, do you have any suggestions? Where to post crew recruitment messages? You finally finished Astrals, nice. Do you think you could add something like that to DYD Cord? What, like a crew recruitment channel? I could. I could, but I feel like it's more effective in other places is why. Yeah, GBF International. You can post them in Discord and Reddit, yeah. Yeah, Wikicode has one, GBF International, and Reddit does. But, you know, with the recent new players, it might be good to put it in our Wikicode as, not Wikicode, on our Discord too. I'm just not sure. Basically, what I'm saying is, like, if you want to recruit people and you want to reach out to a lot of people, I'm just not sure if my Discord is the place to do that. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. If you meet people in my Discord and want to invite them individually, that's like, you can do that without having a crew recruitment thread, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Can Ariat Light replace Vicky in the setup? You will have to try. I'm not sure. I don't have Ariat Light. Give it a try. See how it goes. Pretty much all of us are in a crew, exactly. Reddit and Twitter is what we do. Okay. Going to Twitter to look for a guild sounds like torture. There's like a hashtag, I believe, and people just put it up and they're like, they put the crew welcome message and then say, hey, reach out to me if you're interested. And then you would like DM them or something. Chat, is this a fighting game? What is this? Sounds like a fighting game. Hatsuboshi Gakuen. What's that? Your Discord could be nice, plus I often direct people to your videos and the wiki. And new players can be difficult. Yeah, like, I feel like if you're actually looking for people, you're better off going to like the Wikicord, the GBF International, the Reddit recruitment thread, things like that, and posting all across those ones. It's Idolmaster. Oh, okay. Sounds pretty good. Oh, okay. Cool. I need to stand up when I'm streaming, chat. I often sit down when I'm like typing and stuff, but my ass hurts from sitting so much. Vicky skin is so pretty. 10-star Golg is out. Oh, have fun. I should put the Vicky skin on this one. I forgot to put it on the Yukata one. Yeah. There we go. I love her little twirl she does when she attacks. Vicky, that is. Why is it so gorgeous? You have to get it, Nico. Have you downloaded your link? But I don't know. I've not. Do I get Bill Nuss? Valentine's? Like with your anniversary ticket? Oh, not Valentine's. Halloween, sorry. Watching Genocide struggle with the UI after your host yesterday made me realize how much UI problems we tolerated. Yeah. Yep, it's a thing. It's a thing. But I actually need... Hold up, chat. I was watching JJ play this morning, who is a new streamer. They're mostly focused on story, but they unlocked Sierra's Academy for the first time. And I actually need to watch this because I've never played through Sierra's Academy. This is all part of Sierra's, right? Well, tell Psy Games to show me the tutorials because they just said autocomplete. Hey, have fun. He seems really into the game. Yeah, he seems to really enjoy the story. And the fact that Granblue is a gacha from before the hoyification of gacha games. Making a new account is free. But yeah, but spending time on it is not free. They make you go through so many side stories, they do, yeah. If you just want the power, then it's sort of annoying because you have to read through all of them. It is. I think, honestly, I think the reason they did that originally is because these side stories give you characters, right? But in the Steam version, that's not the case, I think. Updating Sierra's page seems really obnoxious. Sierra's page is actually one of the pages we have not updated on the wiki despite being how long it's been out for. And the pure reason is because all the wiki updaters are past the point where like by the time Sierra's update comes, it just auto-completes. And we can't update the wiki. So it's really fucking annoying. So when Sierra's first came out, we had to ask all the new players who probably aren't checking stream, probably who aren't checking like Wikicore, things like that. We're like, please send us screenshots of missions and things like that. Because we had no way to access it. Have to update it again when they add Evoker, yep. I updated some, but I wasn't documenting initially. You might have missed a few, okay. I went through it on my alt at some point just to add stuff, yeah. There's also a bunch of unlock requirements. The Cosmos side story needs you to do what makes the Sky Blue 1 and 2 and Primal Resonance. Ah, I see. I tried to document all the flavor text on the sandbox missions, but once I realized there are different text pre-completion and you can't see the original text, you were a bit miffed about it, yeah. Yeah, Cajun, I can do that, one sec. Okay, it's enabled. Imperial Ascension. Hello, I'm still confused between Horus and Mugen because I already have Cosmos and Vajra. Mugen's very good for normal attack based playstyles. Horus is very good for charge attack based playstyles. Oh, it's different styling. Never mind. Alright. I guess that doesn't work, Cage. It's something else. Do we need a new chatter for you to know? We're trying to fix, you know how first time chatters on screen, like the CSS is balked and it, like you can't really see? We're trying to fix that. But it's hard to test first time chatters because, yeah. It's the black on dark grey background, yeah. Which one is better for high difficulty rates? The endgame rates, the last 3 raids in the game, Horus is better. So these 3 raids, Hexachromatic, Dark Rapture, and Vesusia Genesis, Horus is better. Oh, there's one. Alzaraf. Hi, hello. How's it going? Thank you, thank you. Hi, I hope you have a nice day. Hello, Takas. Hope you are having a nice day too. Cajun, do you still need me to do that? I can do that. Let's see. Let's go to... By the way, did you know there's a typo? Yeah. In unlimited raids. No, I didn't actually. Let me go to your channel. I can do that one sec, Cajun. Sorry, chat. I'm just trying to deal with 3 things at once. Thanks for the information. No worries. Let's go here. Why did that not copy? View channel. Alright, Cajun, I'm typing in your one sec. Discord. Here's my Discord. There we go. I'm a new player for this game and I've been following Knickknack Academy Quest. That is perfect. That's what it's there for. And I think it's a really, really good resource. And it teaches you about the combat and the grid, which is one of the more complicated parts of the game. Cajun, that doesn't seem to be a first time message. Did it work? It did work. Nice. Okay. JJ, thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. JJ raid. Welcome. Hope you had fun playing today. Welcome, welcome. I know a lot of you guys are relatively new to Granblue, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. In a moment, I'm gonna On the screen, by the way, the first time chat is broken at the moment, so the color's not right on screen, so I apologize for that. Hey, thanks for all the help earlier. No worries. I enjoy helping new players, and that's my main motivation for even streaming in the first place. So, yeah, that's what I'm here for, basically. There's your first time test, Cajun. Yeah, we're trying to get the on-screen chat fixed at the moment. Thank you for the follows so much. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm also in the process of making some new player guides, so if you have any suggestions or things that are confusing you, let me know, and I can maybe try and make it into a video in the future. Right now, I am working the hardest on not a comprehensive new player guide, but something that has enough topics in it to be called a new player guide. I'm aiming for this video to be at most like 19 minutes, somewhere around there, to not make it feel so overwhelming. But I need to write it first and see what I can cut out and make into a separate video, because Granblue is such a complicated game that there's so many aspects to explain, and it's we have to cut things out basically. You and Umikin helped me so much and are so kind, along with others. I'm glad that we were able to help. JJ is a certified Wizard Variants Daphne. So I don't know much about Wizards Variants Daphne, but I've heard there's a lot of parallels with GBF in the way the gameplay loop might be, and along with similar things with the grind. It's just obviously a very different presentation. But yeah, I'm not familiar with the game at all, actually. But watching Jenna's ad and JJ, like that's the impression that I got. I would honestly love a suggested story reading order. That's sort of tricky. Because I'm not fully familiar with that topic. Not because I skip events or anything, but because there's 12 years worth of story. And the tricky part here is that everybody has a different opinion. I.e. there's just a lot of things to read. I don't think you can go wrong with just going through the main story and then reading the side stories as they're suggested from Sierra's Academy. I don't think you can go wrong that way. Let me put it that way. So yeah. But yeah, I don't think I will be making a lore guide or anything like that anytime soon. Do you think there's any value in encouraging newer players to do solos of old HL content as they level up? That's very case-by-case basis, I think. It's if they enjoy that sort of gameplay. It's funny hearing him talk about the Wizards game because it sounds exactly like how we talk about GBF. I see, yeah. It's very odd, yeah. It's an endless grind with infinite progression for your characters. Totally different game in every other respect, I see. Infinite progression. Yeah, it sounds similar to Granblue, honestly. Because Granblue is all about the progression. Like, for example, the raid I'm doing on screen right now. On release, and for many people tackling the raid for the first time, this is... it was a endgame raid that 6 people had to coordinate to kill together. And this is like the first tier of raids where you can actually really fail the raid. Before this, raids aren't really designed to fail too often, but these 6-man raids, you can see at the top it says 1 out of 6, so it's up to 6 players. These ones start to require some amount of coordination after a certain at a certain point. But if you get strong enough, you can see that I'm just full autoing this at the moment. So that's part of my main motivation of playing. I love making these teams that can full auto even the hardest content in the game. Everybody gets different, like everybody has a different part of the game they enjoy. This is one of the aspects I personally enjoy a lot, making my characters strong enough so that I can be even lazier when I farm, basically, right? Like for some people, it's just reading the stories. Some people, it's collecting characters, right? For me, I enjoy the gameplay part and the theory part of it a lot, because making this possible comes down to a couple different mechanics, whether that's character mechanics, grid skills, summons, things like that. All of these combined make something like this possible. It's kind of similar in that gear comes from grinding and pools give you upgrades to your main team. Gotcha, I see. Might be a stupid question, but are guild wars, I think Unite and Fight, something a new player can help with their crew at all, or is it completely out of their reach until later? It depends on how much you have progressed when Guild War comes out. But honestly, to do a small amount of contribution in Guild War, it's not too difficult. But when you start comparing yourself to a player who plays Guild War a lot, like maybe me, then it might feel insignificant. But I don't think you should take it that way. You should more see it as, oh, if I get really strong, then I can do that amount of contribution. If you're joining a crew, which is the main motivator for joining a established crew in Guild War, is to get the rewards from Guild War. And those are based on your crew's contribution. But if an established crew is adding you in the first place, they're aware that you're a new player and you're not going to do a lot. So that's sort of an agreement, an unspoken agreement that you make. So don't stress too much about crews, is basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah, GBF is almost like an MMO. I often describe it like an MMO. That's incredible. The feeling of progression is one of the most fun feelings for me in games. So I can definitely see that. And yeah, that's a big motivation for a lot of Wizardry players too, I see. So yeah, like I'll just show like these are future raids, so slight spoilers, I guess. But these are future raids you'll have access to. Pretty much like from this tier on, are all 6-man raids. And at release, all of them sort of required, most of them, I shouldn't say all of them, most of them required some amount of contribution, like coordination, between players. Currently, only this tier and this new tier that they introduced really require coordination. Everything below can be full autoed if you have a strong enough team. So yeah, that's where things like that come in. And yeah, one of my favorite things in GBF is because every character's kit is unique, every character has almost a niche or where they're good in. Because it's not like Summoner's War where characters are almost carbon copies of each other or anything like that, right? Every character does something really unique, and it's not uncommon to see a weird character just suddenly pop up for one raid because they're good in that one raid. That's like a very, very common thing. Like, for example, right now, Sandalphon here, he is very good for this raid in particular because he has a mechanic that almost counters what the raid wants to do. So yeah, it's figuring out small things like that, like underutilized characters that work well in this one specific situation, and then making a grid that that suits it. And since leveling characters in Granblue is so easy, and you're encouraged to swap your characters around so often, it's really rewarding, unlike modern gachas where I feel like I have to lock in and not waste my resources on quote-unquote bad characters. So yeah, that's part of the game that I personally really enjoy. Are you going to add a basic control and optimal settings portion to your guide? So I have a settings video actually on my YouTube already. It's from a couple years ago, but it's pretty relevant. One sec. So maybe give that a look. I'll be honest, for full disclosure, I haven't actually watched my own guide for a while, so I don't know what I cover. Oh, you already linked it, my bad. So yeah, but have a look. This goes through some inventory management things as well, so some of you new players are probably worried about inventory management. I was helping JJ with that earlier. So yeah, I need to dash off, but thanks again for everything you do for the game and the community. I'm kind of hooked, and the community is more than partly why. Thank you for the raid again. Have a nice day. Yeah, and thank you so much for the kind words too, and the raid. Initially, the game isn't about full auto. Yes, that is clear. That is true. You'll be using full auto to get through, like, to sort of lazily farm, but to get to the point where you can solo full auto is far, far down the line. Early on, you are expected, in fact, not expected, you should be requesting backup, right? For every raid, there's the request backup button here. Honestly, you should be putting it on like auto request backup and then let other people help you. Because at the start, you're not going to have enough damage or strong enough characters or whatever to solo the raid yourself in full auto. So yeah. I need side games to make it so I don't need to switch between full auto and semi-auto every fight. Yes, that is annoying, right? Pretty much how it works is that you have to set it for every raid, So each raid has a specific setting. But as a new player, you go through so many new quests that you have to set it every single quest. Luckily, that doesn't become a problem later on because most of your dailies or things that you full auto or whatever, you've already done before. So like this quest I'm in Artum, I've done before. So I don't need to set full auto every single time. But yes, unfortunately, early on, I wish it was a setting in the game settings. I don't know why it isn't. But yeah, it is the way it is. The devs try hard to make you cooperate with others, but we are too stubborn and end up soloing. Yeah. And I guess the other motivator for soloing is that as a new player, I'm sure maybe some of you guys have already experienced it, but what I found as a new player was that sometimes I had to request backup, and then I'd have to wait a while for someone to join, someone who was strong enough to actually come and join. So I wanted to be able to reliably clear things on my own. So yeah, that was another motivating factor for me. Mine defaults to FA, and I have no idea why when my friends always set it to semi. So semi is what's on by default, but you can change that to full auto in the menu settings. They're probably on semi because it's a new quest for them and they haven't actually set it to full. And you might be doing a quest you've already done before. They should really change the default. I do think they should change the default to full auto. I agree. It's a setting. No, there's no setting. I've made a settings video where I go through each and every setting. There is no setting. I like that they finally add this to skip farming materials. Hey, yeah. That's a really nice one, honestly. Let me add Cajun's thing so we can fix the first time chatter on screen. One sec. Hold up, chat. Let me fix this. I just put this at the bottom, right, Cajun? Yeah, okay. Try that. We'll see how it goes. If there's any first-time chatters, if you can help me test the on-screen thing, let me know. I've been trying to grind out the Water Evoker Celia, but can't seem to do what I'm missing to unlock the Fate episode, A Moon Dyed Crimson. A Moon Dyed Crimson. Can someone help Malathoth there for me? It might have to do... It has to do with... It has to do with the Evokers and Arcelia. I'm trying to remember. I'll wrap back around to that question if nobody helps. I used to think you had to unlock full auto. No, you don't. Oh, that's the other thing. Right. Yeah. When you start the game, hey, I go over this in my settings video actually, but when you start the game, the element diagram is on by default. But you see how the element diagram is over here? So it blocks the full auto button. So to see the full auto button, you actually have to disable the elements diagram. Why is it like that? I don't know. I don't know. You learned that today. Yep. So even if you click full auto, you have to disable the elements diagram for it to pop up. 2014 UI moment. Yes, exactly. Hello, first time chatter here. Did it work, Cajun? I wasn't watching. Leviathan Mare is a pain in the ass. I hope this helps. I'm sure it helped. We can go back in the vault to see if it helped anyways. To be fair, you need the elements diagram. You're probably not ready to be FAing stuff. True, yeah. If you're new enough that you need to refer to the elements diagram, then you probably shouldn't be... I mean, to be honest, early on, you can probably kill a lot of things without even a proper grid. In fact, I saw Genazad with like a normal weapon grid, and they were killing things. First time chatter is fixed. Thank you, Cajun. You might need the card, go to the shop, treasure trade, and then Arcarum Pact Bearer. Admittedly, during the quest, it's a bit late to be shown the diagram. Yeah. Because like by that point, you've already chosen your party, right? So it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, it almost feels like they should have it before, but I don't know. It's knowledge that just becomes like part of your Grand Blue like nature. In order to uncap evokers to 4 and 5 star, you need to fully upgrade their New World Foundation weapons, which would be a reflection of the moon. There we go. Yes. Yeah, it's probably that. What Cajun just said. Unpopular opinion, FA did more bad than good. Completely disagree. I think the element wheel there is a remnant back of when people used to run multi-element teams instead of monotype teams. You know what? I think you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. Are artifacts important? No. It's for min-maxing. It's a new feature that they added. Another small way to increase your character. It's also another attempt at adding more RNG systems, which require obviously more time to get the perfect thing. Unlike artifacts and something like Genshin, you can reroll the stats, and you can even reroll skills on an artifact. But ultimately, they are for small min-maxing. Like, see how this is all level 1? When I upgrade this, it's going to randomly choose the levels. So if I level this, it's going to be like 2, 3, 2, 1. I don't get to choose, but I can always reset the level and try again. And the way you get these reset materials is by getting bad artifacts and then scrapping them, basically. But artifacts at the start... Do you guys get artifacts as new players? I assume you do. It's something you don't really have to worry about. Just chuck any that you find on your characters. Most of them are good stats, and there's no bad stats. Okay, there are some bad stats, but nothing that will hopefully actively grief you. If something looks like it has a downside, maybe just don't equip it. You did get a few, yeah, okay. You start getting them at HL 101 plus. Ah, okay, okay. Cap with downsides might be kind of bad. It might be kind of bad. I was more thinking like cut to defense. That one. I guess like general rule of thumb is that if an artifact says it has a downside, then just keep in mind the downside. Would it be worth doing a stream or a Steam account on your end? Yes, I plan to do a Steam account. And I was meant to do that yesterday, but ended up working on videos instead. I wanted to do a Steam account mainly to understand the new player experience, because I have a good understanding, but I don't know the nitty-gritty details. So I wanted to go through a Steam account. I just didn't get an opportunity to, mainly. Am I gonna do it today? I think I'm actually gonna write the script for my new player guide on stream today, because I want that new player guide out. I understand for the new player guide, I need to know some of this new player information, but I think for Granblue, a lot of the time, the information that we just consider obvious is the information that new players need. For example, I'm pretty sure I didn't get a full answer from them in Genozad's chat yesterday, but there was someone in Genozad's chat who was upset that they had lost their Xeno Fire Axe. And I asked them if they reduced it by accident, because then you can pick it up. If you guys didn't know, if you accidentally reduce anything in the game, like let's say I reduced this. I reduced this thing, and I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to reduce this. Then I can actually go and grab it back. So if I go to news, have they made this English, by the way? Maybe not. I scroll down. I go to, is it contact? Yeah, go to contact. Wait, is it contact? No, it's in Japanese. Why is it still in Japanese? Okay, you go to contact, and then you click this Japanese button, and then you click this Japanese button. It takes you to there, and you see how I just reduced that, but it's here, and then I can go grab it back. Retrieve the following item, and then I can go retrieve, and then now it's back. Back in my inventory. So you don't need to really worry about accidentally reducing anything. It goes to my crate. So I wanted to let them know that, it's right there. So I wanted to let them know that that you can do this. But I think actually what happened, right? Anyways, going back to the Xeno Axe story, I'm pretty sure what happened is that they swapped their MC to a class that can't equip an axe. I'm almost certain that's what happened. Because the Xeno Axe is an axe, so they had the Xeno Axe here. They had this weapon. Okay, I don't have the Xeno Axe in my inventory, but let's just pretend that like this is the Xeno Axe. I'm pretty sure what happened is that they changed their class and then it unequipped that weapon because it can't equip a class. Like this class can only equip swords and spears. So I'm pretty sure they did this and then it auto unequips any weapons that your MC can't do. I'm almost certain this is what happened. They did this, they changed classes, and then it disappeared. And then they're like not thinking about that it's an axe. So they go to the menu, they try to equip it, and they look for their Xeno Axe, and it's not there. It says no item. So I'm pretty sure they thought they lost it because of that. Yeah, either that or the axe upgrade and it looks different. I think Sierra's makes you do that. But the axe looks similar enough that I don't think that was the case. I'm pretty sure they were going to the menu and they just couldn't see it. I think actually JJ had a similar problem with this, or it was Genozad, where they had the filter set and they didn't realize they had filters set. So they couldn't see their whole inventory, what was available. So it's small things like this, because the UI is so convoluted, that it's easy to just forget that these are problems that new players will have. So yeah. That's why I think for the new player guide, I don't need to really worry too much about that, like a more in-depth info. I want to give more like surface level, hey, this is how it works. This is the things that you want to focus on, like, you know, things like that. Doesn't help that the weird weapon classes when trying to filter either, yeah. That happened to me too fairly recently, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought you still had to send the email. No, you within a 24-hour period, you can always get it back. I'm thinking of purchasing the current beginner deal they have. I was thinking about picking Neha, but someone said there are seasonal characters there. Do you have the name of what the beginner deal is? I need the specific name just because there's a lot of purchase promotions in the game at the moment. So yeah, I need to know exactly which one you're talking about before I can give advice. So if you click on it, it'll say at the top what it is. Like this one says birthday step up special. Could you give me that name? One thing the game doesn't tell you that I figured out today was that to unlock 1-star raids, you need to do the level 30 raid side quest. Oh, does it not tell you that? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think my advice is as you progress, you'll get a bunch of the random quests along the way. Clearing all of them gives you crystals, right? This is my new player account that I use to explain things like this. But yeah, like you see all these red dots and there's all these quests. Honestly, like completing these as you go along is recommended if you can. Like sometimes when you're new, you won't have the draft characters or it's too powerful and you can't do it. I think JJ had that. I think we're looking at the same quest JJ was on earlier. So yeah, there'll be situations like that, but anything that shows up here, if you can do it, recommend doing it. Sierra's Dojo walks you through those. Oh, okay. Nice. We're talking about the level 50 quests or whatever. I haven't played around in around a year. That glowy blue damage. Is that an origin class thing? No, it's not an origin class thing. It has to do with this weapon here. These are called destroyer weapons. There is one for each element. You can farm them in the game, and they are very, very powerful weapons that you get by completing the most recent hardest raid in the game, which is Vesusia Genesis. Let's see. Should new players read limited events like this, even though they don't have the current ones? Yeah, I think so. I saw JJ read it and have a lot of fun. And I think that's exactly what Cygames intended as well. Yep. It says exclusive beginners draw set. Exclusive beginners draw set. Is that the beginner ticket, chat? Exclusive beginners draw set. Can you screenshot it for me? Oh, it is the beginner's draw set. Okay, so the beginner's draw set is actually special because it takes all the characters that were available when you created your account and it puts them on there. So what that means is that everybody's beginner draw set is different. They are changing that next month, but until now, it is whatever was available on it. Yours might have seasonal characters, it might not have seasonal characters. So what I suggest doing is go to the list. It'll look something like this. I know it's not this. It'll look something similar. Go to the use ticket tab, and then you can filter. So under filter, go to series, and then try filtering for these seasons. See if there's any of those there. When you click OK, it'll show what things are available. And you might not have any, and that's okay. So can you do that for me? And then check to see if, just let me know if things are available. And if so, who? Are there any Discords or groups that you would recommend for new players? There's my community Discord. I guess I would recommend that. There's a bunch of new players there recently. We have a lot of people there who are more than willing to help out. Let me post that on YouTube as well. One sec. There we go. So yeah, there's a channels for GBF questions. There's various channels there. You can feel free to ask things there. And if there's anything that you don't understand, feel free to ask the person to clarify as well. One thing that GBF players are really good at is forgetting what things are slang and what things aren't. So like we might say anitix, and you might be like, what the hell's an anitix? I don't know what that is. When the actual name of it is 12th birthday draw set. So there'll be things like this. Like some of you might have heard Zodiac ticket. That's the Divine Blessing ticket. But unless you've played the game, you don't know these are the Zodiacs. So yeah. So feel free to ask players to clarify exactly what they're talking about. People threw so much slang at JJ. I'm like, no, you guys are... I'm like, you know you guys are speaking a foreign language, yes. Yes. Wait, so scam is just slang? Yeah, I mean, Cygames wouldn't sell you something called a scam, right? It's just called a scam by the general community. Looking at my beginner's draw set, there are no summer or seasonals. I only see Grand Zoe after I did that. Okay, so you are probably on a Flash Gala. So in that case, I'll go with Azure first here. So when you do that, you only see Summer Zoe, which means that when you filter, can you do Grands for me? And then let me know how many Grands or how many pages do you have? Actually, what's even the best way to do this? I just need to know what the latest thing you have available is. Because I don't know how old your account is. Once again, the beginner ticket depends on when you made your account, so that's why it's a little bit more complex. Have they screen shared in Discord? Yeah, you can drop screenshots for me if you want. Thank you for the follow. So if I have summer characters, does that mean I started my account in summer? You started your account when summer characters were on the banner is what that means. Yes. It's probably the one Jenna got Percy from. Wasn't that Step Up Draw set? No, that wasn't beginner ticket. Mine doesn't even have Grands. No, it wouldn't, because if you started when Steam started, there was no Grands banner happening at the time. So it would not have Grands. Wait, what raid is that ball? It's called the World. The World. Yes, it makes sense. My first banner is not a gala at all, yeah. In the future, they're going to make it so that you get the most recent anniversary ticket on it. But yeah, for now, you can think of it like a free surprise ticket. Or not a free surprise ticket, it's not free, but like it's an additional surprise ticket. A surprised special draw set is a selector for all the permanently available characters in the game. Does anyone know when Rise of the Beast reruns? Did we get a date on ROTV? I think we did, right? What are they changing it into? They're changing your beginner draw set for accounts that start after April 1st into the most recently available anniversary ticket, which is really good. So essentially, if you start the game later on, let's say in May, then you will get this year's anniversary ticket as your beginner ticket. Which is great for me because I don't have to do this thing where I ask, hey, what's on the ticket? Can you filter things for me? You see how this was like a multi-step process where I couldn't give a straight answer? How annoying that is. It's so nice that it's just the anniversary ticket, so I can be like, check out my anniversary ticket video. And the other annoying thing about the beginner ticket is that in the past, is this retroactive? No. It's not retroactive because if you think about it, if you just haven't bought your anniversary ticket, but you wait until April 1st to buy it, and you already bought it during March, that means you get 2 anniversary tickets. So they don't want that. So it is not retroactive. Good for new players, mine is so useless. Once again, everybody has access to the anniversary ticket right now. So if you want to get the anniversary ticket, you can get it right now. This is more for people who miss out on the anniversary ticket. That's why it comes into effect on March 1st, because that's when the anniversary ticket is no longer available. I've got 2 pages with 15 characters. Okay. All right, so you have some amount of flash grants there. Yeah. I updated this for Genocide yesterday, but I was gonna make a very quick video on it at some point, but I think it's relevant right now. Since you have grants, I have this page posted in YouTube and Twitch. It's a tier list for newbies, for grands, specifically grands, okay? Not seasonals, just grands. And I also want to point out that this is also a tier list with newbies in mind. So I've listed things in a way which hopefully makes sense. It doesn't mean that characters at the top are necessarily the best characters in the game, but characters towards the top will be both, like, as you get closer to the top, they'll be the best characters in the game, plus they have longevity. Thank you for the raid, Solstice. So the closer you get towards the top, the more relevant they are in today's meta, plus they're good for newbies. Around this tier, they might be a mix of they're good for newbies and they have longevity. And the lower you get, they're harder to use, or they just don't have much longevity. That's sort of what's going on, right? Like, for example, this tier, these characters all have specific uses, but some of them are less useful as a new player. So as a new player, you might be focused on one of these. In general, if you don't have one of these characters at the top, I would suggest picking one of these characters at the top. And if they're accessible on your beginner ticket and on your step up special draw. So the step up special draw that I'm talking about is specifically this one here, birthday step up special. So on this one, and if you have a beginner ticket with these characters on it, then you can consider that. The equation changes when you have seasonal characters available, and for that, I recommend my anniversary ticket list. And this is purely because seasonal characters are much harder to get your hands on in Grand Blue. So if you have seasonal characters available on your beginner ticket, or you have seasonal characters available somehow on some other ticket or some other spark, then this is the list to look at. Seasonal characters are hard to get though. Yes, once again, that newbie tier list is purely for Grands and Zodiacs. when seasonal characters are not available. Hope the stream's going well. Thank you for the raid. Stream is going well. Thank you, thank you. Damn, is Leona that bad? Leona's not someone you would pick over anybody else. Does that make sense? If you get Leona, I don't think you should feel bad that you got a bad character, because in fact, Leona is... Every character is on a spectrum, right? On one side of the spectrum, you have bad, right? Like there's bad characters here and good characters over here. I should have zoomed out. Why am I so zoomed in? Go again. Since choosing something on your beginner ticket is an opportunity cost, right? By picking Leona, you give up the opportunity to pick up someone like Uriel. That's what I mean here. If you get Leona, you shouldn't feel bad that she's quote-unquote bad on this tier list. She's probably better than most characters in the game, because in the grand scheme of things, if bad is here and good is here, across all characters, Leona's probably about there. It's just compared to this character up here, because in this case, we're talking about when you are selecting a character. Uriel's more like over here. So that's what I'm talking about. So don't use this list to be like, oh, this character's bad, I'm not going to use them. Most grand characters are just going to be better than other characters. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Leona FLB will save the game, surely. Paint content, let's go. Solstice, are you also a new player, or are you a veteran player who's been playing the game for a while? Or somewhere in the middle? Painter's Peak. Solstice started with Steam as well. Okay, well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I was watching them today, going through the new game together. Brand new, I see. Was Octavia in any event fights? No. Octavia was not. Does any character in the game have a similar skill to Percy S3? There are. There are some characters similar to Percy's S3. None of them are available on turn 1 as good as Percy's. Percy is uniquely... Okay, so the reason why Percy is considered really good... We're in a turn-based game, right? We're in a turn-based game. Which means that ways to cheat, quote-unquote cheat turns is very good. Percy gives your entire team an additional attack. All fire allies instantly perform a normal attack without using up a turn. Obviously, if you guys have played Shadowverse, this is like dropping, what is it, dimensional door, dimensional gate on the enemy. You just get a free turn. Think of it that way. Dimensional climb, yeah. You get a free turn. You can sort of think of it that way. That's why this character is very good. So yes, there are other characters that do this, but often they are not available on turn 1. In fact, I'm trying to think of anybody else on turn 1 that isn't. Everybody else has something that they need to do. Like here, Yatima also does it. Instantly perform a normal attack without using up a turn. But at the start, it's only for her. She needs to be in the fight for a couple of turns to get data synchronization, and then it affects everybody. So there's that. Yes, the only other character is MC. Yes, MC is able to do that as well. But Percy is the only character that's not MC that's able to do it on turn 1. And there are some other characters who have this as well. There's Yatima. Like if we go to instant attack. If you're new, guys, get used to using the wiki, because the wiki is a great resource. Not biased because I work on the wiki. Anyways, instant attack. Look, targets allies. MC Luchador has tag team. Percy has it on turn 1, all fire allies. Raziel has it for Earth, but she needs a certain condition to be able to do it. Anila can do it, but she needs a certain condition to do it, right? So most of these things have a condition. I realize Yatima's not on this list. Yatima should be here. And sometimes it's only for part of the team. Like see here, Katura is only for herself and the dark main character. Oh, Yatima's down here, actually, sorry. Yatima's there because it's both. Angie is only for herself and a female water ally. So Percy is the only one who lets you do it on turn 1 with no conditions, basically, for everybody. That's why Percy is considered so good. And I think in Genozide's chat yesterday, I said Percy's top 1 or 2 in the game for this ability alone. They didn't want to make the same mistake for other elements. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they underestimated how strong Percy's is, and then they toned it down for the future characters. I do think for the future characters, they made the payoff a little bit better. Like Raziel's buffs your team massively when you click it, even though you can only click it once. So it feels like this big ultimate skill. Yatima's has like the supplemental, which is also very strong on it. Things like that. As a fairly new player that started during New Year's, what should I focus on? I wanted to focus on water and dark, but I think it might be too early to focus on one element. You ultimately want to work on all elements. I think it depends on how you want to progress with the game. Because Granblue is very modular. You can choose what you want to work on. So, if you want to just focus on dark, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to focus on all elements somewhat equally, that's okay too. What I suggest, at the very least, is following Sierra's Knickknack Academy. You can find that on the homepage. You will likely have a button in the top left. If you can't find it, then scroll down to Extras, and then over here, there's Sierra's Knickknack Academy. By following this, you will get given a full grid, and it will also sort of teach you about the game itself. So choose the element that you want to work on. Any order is okay. And then, yeah, go through it. I think Guild War's a minor consideration. I don't think it's worth mentioning. I mean, you can. If you don't know which one to pick, then you can just focus on the next Guild War. Guild War is a time... it's an event that is rerun constantly, where every time it comes back, the element focus changes. So this time coming up, you want to use water teams. Next time it might be fire, as an example. But the next Guild War is in April, so many people work towards the next Guild War, just to give them a bit of direction. You have cool dark units. I can't wait to get more. I really like all the dark characters here in my team. They're some of my favorite characters. If you guys were on JJ's stream earlier, this is Katura. It's her dark version. I just have an outfit on that Katura. It's the summer Katura version. And she's very, very good. The wind one that JJ's using is also very good as well. What you guys will find in Granblue is that MC is often the strongest character in the game. So, characters like Katura, who buff MC, are often very good as well. Katura's, across all her versions, Katura's main, I guess, gimmick or theme is that she supports MC. I think JJ read the Fate episode on stream, right? So, Katura really likes MC. So her skills reflect that as well. Replacement-wise for Satyr on the team. So for this particular full auto, I think Satyr is one of the most important pieces because this raid throws an omen at you. The omen is the hit 37 things at the time, but the one Satyr clears here is the plane damage omen. So you have to be able to do plane damage to cancel that. Satyr is one of the characters that does plane damage. So I'm not sure what I would do without Satyr for this particular FA. I think I would take a completely different approach if we have to ignore that omen, but I haven't tested anything. So are meta characters with one turn kill OTK then? So firstly, I'll just explain a couple terms here. OTK is often reserved for a term in Guild War, so I won't use the term OTK. But to answer your question, which is like essentially asking, hey, are characters that are able to do a lot of damage in one turn strong? Usually yes. Usually yes. And the less buttons they need to be more powerful, the better. Because once again, turn-based game, some teams could kill this raid maybe in one turn, but they would need like 30 different button presses, like skill presses, to do it, and that would take a long time. So Granblue is a mix between how quick, like the end goal is to kill the thing as quickly as possible, to be as efficient as possible. Sometimes that will be taking a low amount of turns, and sometimes that will be taking a lot of turns but quickly. It sort of depends on the fight and your team as well. But in general, yes, things that help you cheat turns is in general good. And doing more damage is a way of cheating, quote-unquote, turns. How's Lancer Origin doing? I think Lancer looks good for short burst rotations from what I've seen and what I've tested so far. Yo, I really wanted Sandy, so I spent $25. So worth, by the way. But I also got Lucio and Nehan. How set am I? So you got the light team. Sounds really good, honestly. Lucio is really strong for new players. With his uncapped PZ, even better. Sandy's a very strong new player character. Nehan's also really good. You know how I earlier said, chat, that Percy's like top 1 or 2? Nehan's the top 1 or 2 as well. So Nehan and Percy are like the top 2 characters in the game. So Nehan's really, really good. The one thing about Nehan is that he's slightly harder to use. And the only reason I say he's slightly harder to use is because... Let's take a look at Nehan's kit real fast. And you guys will see what I mean about cheating turns here. Nehan, this character, his third skill is his most impactful skill. It says all other light allies attack twice. Do you see how this is another cheating turn mechanic? Instead of only attacking once during the turn, you now get to attack twice. It's only for other allies this time. But Nehan's a really, really, really strong buffer support for the team. He doesn't do much damage himself, but he makes everybody else on your team do a lot of damage. So the downside, however, is that all of his skills have a slight downside. Sharp hit to debuff resistance on his first skill. It boosts everybody's attack, gives them a lot of damage, but it cuts your debuff res. That one isn't too bad. This one, it can hurt a bit, which is the sharp hit to defense. So your characters are a little bit squishier now. Right? And then the third one is that he cuts your max HP as well when you use it. So what you might find is that if you can kill the raid quick enough, which is honestly the only thing that matters, as long as you survive the raid and kill it, it doesn't matter how low HP you are. You might find that sometimes you can use Nehan, and sometimes you might find that your team sort of blows up if you use him. So it's finding that middle ground. It's finding that middle ground. So that's the only reason where on that new player tier list thing I had earlier, where Nehan, I had like an own tier for him, which is just that he's meta, but he's just harder to use. Just because of these slight downsides in his kit. Do you usually slap Lucio with Sandy? I just got them today. You can. It depends on what characters you have. And one thing that I want to make really clear in Granblue is that Granblue is not a one-party game. You swap your characters depending on what's available to you, but also depending on, more importantly, what you're fighting. See, my team here, I earlier mentioned that Satyr is here for a specific reason, and that's because this raid has an omen where I need one of her skills. The way I like to describe things is that raids are a puzzle, and our characters and our grid and our summons are how we solve the puzzle. But it's a puzzle with like thousands of different ways to solve it. And it's figuring out how to solve the puzzle with what's available to you. And I think that's the fun of Granblue. So early on, you're probably just putting in the same party and it solves every puzzle, and that's fine, right? That's how you should play the game as a new player, because it's overwhelming to think about all these different parties. But at some point, you're going to want to make a light team for... You're going to want to make a light team maybe for this raid here, for Osiris. And that team's going to look a bit different compared to when you fight Fidel. Where's Fidel? Like, compared to when you fight Fidel, it might be a little bit different. So things like that. Did you see the Mistral Fire Guys DPT? I was told 218, it was like 230. 22 turns, 5 bill. So is there a video? I've heard about this, I haven't watched it. What's the link to that list you showed earlier? The newbie tier list, I'll put it in chat. Anybody can get a high DPT if you click a lot of buttons. Yeah, I imagine it's just clicking all the skills in the world. It's 1000% staged, yeah. Guy's just a huge Mistral lover. Momburan. Momban? To be fair, even with clicking all skills, I think it's impressive. That's way more than I thought it would be. Might be worth putting these commonly asked YouTube links in the YouTube live description. Oh yeah, I forget that I can do that. Yeah, great idea. Oh, I forget that in YouTube. It's like a video, so I can... Any ticket is called what? 12th birthday draw set? Yeah, 12th birthday draw set. 12th birthday draw set recommendations. I'll put some YouTube links as well. Great idea. And then roulette FAQ. And then Spark tier list. I'll put more things as I remember them. I guess I could put the settings video. Okay, I put it in the description. I don't know if you need to refresh to see that. Hey, did you know X.com is 50% off? No one reads YouTube video descriptions. At the very least, I can be like, hey, check the descriptions. It'll be down there, instead of having to link it in chat every time someone asks. That's fine. That's okay. If it's all down there, then I can at least just be like, hey, check there. I'm low-key surprised that Feeny isn't great for newbies category. I think Feeny is held back by the fact that she needs to die to be good. And early on, things don't do damage, and she's not going to die. Feels like even if she isn't as flashy as Zeta or Sturm, she kind of fits into everything early. Like I said, all these characters are going to be good on a new account. It's just when it comes to opportunity cost, I would not put it that high. And you said her main hand is great to invest. I completely disagree. It's not that her main hand is bad, But I think as a new player, that's not even something you should be considering. I think when I initially made this list, too many people were far too focused on what weapon the character comes with. I remember hearing things like, oh, but I don't know, I'm just going to pick an example out of thin air. But PNS is so good, or but FS is so good for light primal grids. But that's not the point. You're not using these weapons as a new player. You shouldn't be using these weapons as a new player. So yeah, her weapon as main hand is good. Yeah, I'm fully aware of that. You're not barring this weapon as a new player though. In fact, no one would recommend that. And if you are recommending that, I actually think that's bad advice. So yeah. Like Mana Diver isn't even something a new player is going to have access to immediately. So a lot of these advice concerning weapons that characters come with, I think are thinking too far into the future. Hi DY, I was reading Vazkey's, what is it? Vazkey's grid building guide. They mentioned Lucifer Summon has fallen off meta because of boosted cap break skills. Boosted cap break skills. What are those? So things like Death Strike, things like weapon, amplify normal damage, things like that. Things that increase your damage cap but aren't called damage cap is a way to think about them. And most of those require boosting. Feeny gets more powerful when she revives. So you gotta get her to die somehow. Why is Europa good? Sex. Europa is very good because she does, firstly, a lot of defensive utility and a lot of damage. So she's like two very important parts of the game combined. Her S2 here gives you a lot of defense. She and then on her offensive side, she gives herself triple attack rate, which helps activate her passive, which does skill damage. And early on, skill damage does a lot. If you guys were watching JJ's gameplay, I remember he pointed out that Katura's S2 did a lot of damage. In general, early on, skill damage does a lot. And Europa does a lot of skill damage. Who's JJ? JJ is someone who raided earlier. They're a new player, and they were streaming on Twitch. Hello DY, I'm watching your settings video. It might need to be updated for Steam. A lot of it looks different. I can understand that some parts of it looks different. I think a fair amount of it is still the same. But I will take, once again, I haven't watched it in a while, so I will watch it back through and I will compare with what's available these days. But many of the advice is not going to change. But yeah, I will think about making a video. It's just that it's relatively low priority because I think a more overall new players guide is needed right now, and that's what I'm working on. I remember when I was a new player, the Grand Naru's superior element buff from one of her skills helped doing decent damage. Yeah, Naru S1 is very good. Oh my god, she's so pretty. Europa? Yes. Europa's very, very pretty. There's Europa. There's her second art. This is one of my favorite arts in the game. And then her 5-star art's really good as well. Very good. I saw some of my friends that have a thing that's like a ring. Is it aesthetic? How do I get it? Okay, so that's called a Perpetuity ring. I'm pretty sure what you're asking is this, right? If I look at my party, you're talking about this ring. If we are talking about this ring, this is called a Perpetuity ring officially. But many players will call it a gold ring. So you can see here that all my characters here are ringed. There is these rings are rare, and there's only a limited amount of them in the game. So people generally either ring their favorites or ring meta characters. The reason to ring meta characters is because the rings give a very small benefit of these things. This is from the ring itself. It gives a bit more attack, a bit more HP, and it gives a bit of damage cap. For that reason, some people use it only on meta characters, and some people will use it on their favorites. As for me, I only ever use it on my favorites. So, I will generally save them a lot. So, if you look at my rings here, I have a lot of rings. 11 right there. So, I'm being very frugal, very stingy with them because I'm waiting for favorite characters to release. Don't listen to his lies, chat. He lies as easily as he breathes. It's true! Chat, I like every single one of these ringed characters. Look. So you can see that this is my list of ringed characters. But since there's a limited amount of them, you have to sort of be selective in choosing. So when you go to upgrade a character, if you see the option for a ring, when you click, hey, use an item, you might see this permanent mastery bonus, and then you might click this. Don't click use unless it's something you actually want to do. These are rare. There's only a limited amount of them in the game. But these rings over here, over mastery, this tab, this is completely fine. You can use as many of these rings as you want. You can use as many of these earrings as you want. These two tabs, you don't want to touch. Don't touch these two tabs. Left two are okay, right two are not okay. You can't retrieve the gold rings. No divorcing. There is no divorcing. You cannot divorce a character. Once you give them a gold ring, it is there forever. Is there a way to click abilities and then they all play at once? I don't fully understand the question, sorry. Play at once, so they all... Do you mean, is there a way to automatically use skills? If that's the question, then yes, I'm doing that right now. It's a system called Full Auto. Sierra's Knickknack Academy will actually teach you that, or how to do that. Hi DOI, what's the criteria for grants to get a blue star? There isn't a set criteria, but generally older characters get them. It's a way to update the character and make them better. Yes, there is an ability queue, yeah. So, like here, on the left, on Steam, it will be further to the left, but when I click skills, see how like it pops up in that left bar, and then it just queues them up, and it plays them out automatically in the order that I clicked. That's called skill queue. That is enabled by default. So you might have disabled it if you aren't able to do it. So go to menu, go to settings, go to battle, and then skill queue. You might have turned this off by accident. If you did, turn it back on. Is there a way to make it so clicking pre-battle does full auto and not semi? So clicking pre-battle will do full auto or semi depending on what the setting for that particular raid is. So for example, right? This raid I have full auto. So if I reload and I click here, it's going to full auto. See that? But if I turn off full auto and I do the exact same thing, it's going to now do semi. See? So yes, there is, but the issue is that you have to set full auto. And the bigger issue right now is that every new raid, you have to set this setting manually. As a new player, you're coming across new quests like every time, which means that you have to set full auto every time, which is unfortunately a bit annoying. I wish they changed full auto to be the default, but the reality is that that's not the case. Hopefully that answers your question. It becomes less of an issue in endgame when you're doing the same raids, right? When you're farming the same raid If you're farming this person here, then you can always set it so that it's always full auto here. But it's annoying when you're progressing through the story and there's so many new quests and every time you have to set it. I saw the grand character, Lisha. Isn't she old? Why doesn't she have a blue star uncap? I'm pretty sure mine are always full auto, even for new raids. I've heard this, but I don't know if you guys can figure out how. Let me know, because even I can't do it. What's your opinion on style change, Alicia? I think she's actually good. I think she's good, and there's a reason why she's restrictive, and it's because she's good. Turn 1 full team assassin is not anything to scoff at. How do I unlock the odious weapon raids? I think you have to play through the main story. Trying to get these side quests and done as soon as possible. Does the grand character from Sierra's matter? Ultimately, no. They're all about the same power level. I recommend picking your favorite. Right, I think for the 63 months.
Subscribed for 63 months.
I recommend picking your favorite from Sierra's Academy. However, if you don't really have a favorite and you just want to choose who is the most powerful, currently Eugen is slightly better than the others, in my opinion. Or if you don't like Eugen, you can choose Fairy for future potential because she doesn't have a 5-star yet, but right now she's not very good. Ultimately, I reckon just choose your favorite. That's my advice. Maybe she's hinting towards a certain new character with a sword. Maybe that's what I'm hoping for. Full team 100% attack. Assassin takes up so much power budget that the rest of her kit looks anemic. A little bit. I think the auto nuke is still good. I wish the auto nuke had like just one more debuff or one dispel or something else on it. And the fact that she can consume her own assassin with the auto nuke sort of sucks too. But still, like, Volfrid has a really strong passive and Leisha's S3 is still very powerful. That already makes a solid team. How do you set the raid to auto battle again? Click the menu button once you're in battle at the top right. And then in auto settings, click full auto. You can also turn on full auto quick summon as well, but that only matters if you have set summon to quick as a quick summon. You can set a summon as quick summon by going to your party screen. And then in the party screen, in the summon screen, there's this set a quick summon button. And then from here, you can click whichever one and then click OK. And then it will use that summon in your full auto whenever it's available. PNS is only 2 in the grid. You just got one from Grand Ticket. Should I uncap it? Not yet, because there are free pulls going on, which might mean you get dupes, so you don't have to spend bars or anything. I don't recommend barring anything or combining anything until the end of roulette. Yeah, and what Hedodor said is also really important, which is that PNS, you can use at 0-star in your grid, and it's still very good. I think they mean they got a 3rd. Oh, true. If you got a 3rd, you can use it to uncap, but it's such a minor increase in damage, I wouldn't worry about it at the moment. Because all it does is it raises your base stats. But you are right, it's only 2 in a grid. So if you want to do it, you can. If it's your 3rd copy, you can combine it, sorry. I think I misunderstood. Is there any way to check how many of a farmable weapon to keep before you reduce extras? I'm glad you asked that, Mathalot. On the wiki, Ormikin in chat and I and Cajun and many others maintain a page called Advanced Grids. You can find it by going to the wiki and going to the sidebar. On the sidebar, under new players, you can see this section called Advanced Grids. On this page, if you go here, by the way, this is for people who are rank 151 and above. So people who have finished Sierra's Academy, essentially. If you haven't finished Sierra's Academy, do that first. If you haven't finished Sierra's Knickknack Academy, do that. This is for people who are past that. If you're past that, and you want to know how many weapons you want to keep of certain elements, pretty much click one of the top row here, Colossus, Leviathan, Yigi, blah, blah, blah. And then under here, we actually list all of them. So you can see that this one, you want to keep 3 up to 4. Keep 2 of these. Keep 1 to 2 of these. So on and so forth. You can see we have all of that information listed and descriptions as well. This is my main focus on the wiki alongside Omikin as well. So that's what you want to work on. There is also basic grids, by the way. Basic grids, this page was actually made before Sierra's Knickknack Academy. So honestly, I think the grid part of the page doesn't matter as much anymore because Sierra's guides you through this. These were made before Sierra's Academy. And I think Sierra's does it in-game, so it's a bit more easier to understand and it's easier to copy. So the bits to focus on in basic grids is anything before the grids themselves. So it's this first part, the general tips. These are the things you want to worry about. And then follow Sierra's Academy. It should have a comment about collabs that you can't get on Steam. Yeah, that's probably something we should add. Is it better to reduce weapons or reserve them? Or does it depend if I need skill points? Ah, yeah. We actually have a section on that right here. It depends. So the right table here is for gacha stuff. And the left table here is for farmable stuff. There's a bit of a difference. So for farmable things, you in general want to reserve. In general. See how it's reserved for most of these? The only time it's reduced is when it's an SSR summon, an SR summon, or an SSR weapon, which you can then decide to reserve or reduce. It depends on what you need more. If you need more skill points, then reserve. If you need more weapon stones, then you reduce. Can I get a link to that? Of course. Basic grids here. This is what you want to do. And then for gacha things, you want to do whatever it says on the right here. Now, okay, Nat for real, is today a long day? Yes. Now, one thing to note is that you might not be able to differentiate between rare weapons that are farmable or it's more relevant for SR. You might not be able to differentiate between SR farmable weapons and SR premium weapons. The game doesn't actually tell you whether it's from the gacha or not. So that's a little annoying. And unfortunately, there's no easy way to do it other than sorting it out when it was already in your crate. Because new things go to your crate. So as an example, when I pull things in Granblue, they go to your crate. And in the crate itself, it will say, hey, this is from a premium 10-part draw. Or whatever. So when it's here, you can actually click reduce. And then click SRs. And then it will reduce these SRs from the gacha. You can do that from the crate itself. If you have picked these up and they're already in your inventory, they get mixed up with all the farmable SRs. So it becomes a little bit more complicated, unfortunately. So if they're in your inventory, these ones are farmable SRs. So it becomes a little less clear. And at that point, unfortunately, the only thing you can really do is remember which ones are farmable and reduce any ones that aren't that. The farmable ones, there's 3 of each. Like, there's the fire axe, the fire dagger, and the fire fist. So you can sort by fire, SRs, and then reduce any that aren't that. Yeah, new drops go to your inventory and new gacha goes to crate. With the exception of completion rewards. Completion rewards also goes to your crate for whatever reason. I wish it didn't, but yeah. I wish, I miss when the crate showed more than 999. Oh, we did it. I didn't actually know that. Am I doing Endless Ragnarok beta tomorrow? I want to, but I might not be able to. Also, yeah, Tintin, somebody else answered you, but I would mainly suggest using them on proven weapons as well. He's so busy, yeah. Lots and lots of things to do. I read that as busty. Oh my god. Get help. Get help. Thank you for the follow. What did I think of Elo? I was a little disappointed that it didn't look like a class I could use in HL, but it looks good for shorter fights. Basically, it didn't fit what I wanted it for, which was longer fights, but yeah, that's fine. Hey, I'm thinking about getting Wamdas, but I saw the 60k HP requirement. Can I see the grid for her if you have one? So I have a... Are you looking for a primal grid or a magna grid? Could I ask that really quickly? What's the grid for this FA, by the way? I can FA solo it myself, but it takes way too long with the Sophia Kengo team. I'll show you. There it is. That's my grid and my class and my skills and whatnot. I'm looking for a primal grid. Okay, so here are you on YouTube? Okay. I can't put Cajun Maker links in YouTube, which is unfortunate. Padding. What padding? Rainbow Lie. Yeah, that's just to fulfill mariachi. Apparently I'm banned. Wait, who's banned? I see your message. Can't see the characters. What? Am I dumb? Is Cajun dumb or am I dumb, chat? Cajun's dumb. Okay, alright. Next, the fire grid. So, for example, this is like a PBHL grid. My PBHL grid is not optimal. I just want to point that out. It is not optimal. Something like this. What you should be doing, I'll make it optimal, one sec. This is optimal. That's optimal. Okay, I'll put that back. But yeah, this is optimal. But when you put in Belial, you have to think about the cut from Belial, so then you have to put in like HP weapons, sorry. But yeah, this is more of an optimal grid. What I had before was what I have currently. You might need to put Defense Awakening on her, as an example. Cajun, I need you to show a way, have a way to shorten Cajun Maker links smiley face so I can put them on YouTube as well. And then people can just click on the weapons and find out what it is. How the heck do I pull lol? Every banner needs coins, but I only have crystals. Do I need to progress the story or am I missing something? Ah, you are missing something. The pulls are done on the draw page. I think you're thinking these are banners, but the draw page is the pulls. Now, that being said, I don't recommend pulling at the moment. You should use your free pulls. Roulette gives you free pulls. And over here will say like free 10-part draw or something. Right, so let me bring up my alt. So when you log into the game at the moment, you'll be getting roulettes, right? Click one. Click OK. Get the roulette spins. Let's see what our alt gets, chat. Place your bets. What does alt get? You get roulette spins. That's what it got. Okay. And then it will take you to the draw page. And then from here, you get to pull. It says 2 draws left. So you click this. You get 2 draws. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Anyways, that happens. And then on the draw page, once you've done your free pulls, you can spend crystals by, it says use crystals for a 10-part draw. That's what you would click, but don't click it right now. Because in Granblue, there are things called galas, and galas are when the SSR rates are boosted from 3 to 6%. So you want to wait for galas to use your pulls. Free pulls, sure. Free pulls expire, you want to use them, but you only want to use your hard-earned crystals on gala banners. So don't click this, but this is how you do it, just for the future. YouTube is apparently deleting my chats. I see your chats. I don't know, I see them. YouTube, do you see EMR Game Freak's chats? Because I see them just fine. I wouldn't be able to read your chats if they were being deleted. Okay. Well, that's a lot of work. That's a primal grid. Do you want to see a magna grid, by the way? If you want to see a magna grid, a magna grid would look something like... something like this. This is more what a magna grid would look like. So, hopefully that answers. Alright, not a new player. I didn't see any discussion. Any thoughts on Gaybolg? For light. Hello. Not sure. Not familiar on Gaybolg. You'll have to test yourself. But Elo looks like a short burst fight character. So, maybe go with that. Appreciate you. I was just confused because I thought the ones needing coins were the banners. I was lost. Yeah, no, all good, all good. Granblue's UI needs work. And those banners, they're called banners, but they're not banners in the traditional sense either, because oftentimes people refer to banners as like where you pull. And you do pull in those, but they're called banners because they are just UI banners, if that makes sense. So yeah. I'll try to write differently. Can I use Skyleap points on Steam? I don't think so. Wait, no. Actually, can someone confirm? Can you use Skyleap points on Steam? I don't know if you can get Skyleap points is the main thing though. Hello, should I pick Rasvelga or Shishio? Vasky has an illustrious guide. I don't recommend picking either, by the way, because they get updates later on this year. But here's Vasky's illustrious guide. You can click on the weapon and then read about the weapon and come to your own conclusion. But I don't recommend buying either one right now when we have uncaps coming. So yeah. Are there Steam points? No, I don't think so. Can you even link Skyleap to a Steam account? Yeah, that's what I'm curious on. I don't think you can. Who is that pretty pink lady on your team? Sanchira, yeah. Wiki Sanchira. That's the character. You love her design. Wait, what if Octavia's Earth? But Exo Water? I don't think that would be the reason. You can open steamgranbluefantasy.com on Skyleap. And do you get Skyleap points? Is Sylvia used anywhere? Yeah, Sylvia's used a lot in high difficulty raids for water. Sylvia is a charge attack character, and in general, charge attack characters tend to be better in high difficulty raids because for various reasons that are a little involved to get into right now, but yeah. Apparently you can get summon even if the gacha animation shows the shit. Yeah, I've heard that the summon is like I've seen that actually. Like Genozad was doing pulls yesterday and I saw the ship happen and it was like a summon. So yeah, definitely happens. Is it crazy I pulled almost all the 12th Annie and beginner content since last night, or does anyone think it's pretty high value? Didn't use the Divine Blessing or Anniversary ticket. Is it crazy I pulled almost... No, I don't... I mean, it depends on how much you want to spend on the game, I guess. You didn't use those things. I think that's a good idea, because if you're not sure who you want, it's better to wait. Especially with the Divine Blessing ticket. If you want to be optimal, it's better to wait. And assuming you're someone who pulls from the gacha and doesn't avoid that. Did Genocide try out the game? Yeah, Genocide tried out the game. They streamed it the last 2 days. I rated them last night as well. Genocide, as far as I know, is making a video on the game too. So you can get someone's new player experience video, I guess. I don't know if it's like a review or anything like that, but yeah. As far as I know, I think Genocide looks in, from my impression, right, seems interested enough in the game to log in and do free pulls and do a bit of the combat. They're not a story reader at all. Their main gripe with the game is its UI, and that is a frustration I completely understand. It's something I've ranted about on stream as well. He was crashing out on UI. Yep, I was there. And I think it's very valid. Put it this way, right? The way many veterans... Who's Genozad? Genozad is a relatively... I think they check out a lot of different gachas, right? As far as I know. But yeah, they're like a gacha content creator, if you want to look at it that way. They stream on Twitch. He looked like he was playing at gunpoint. No, I don't think I would say that. But anyways, going back to the thing I was talking about, which was the UI. Yeah, the fact that veteran players often on the browser play the game with 30 bookmarks, I think show you that UI needs work. Because the most efficient way to get to my party screen is to not do this and this. That was 2 buttons, right? The mouse went off the screen. But essentially, if I'm here and I want to get to my party screen, the normal quote-unquote way would be to go home, party. Makes sense, right? But no veteran player would do that because they just have a bookmark that just bookmarks the party screen. So see here, I have a party bookmark. So I click my party bookmark and it just takes me there. These are tips and tricks that browser players have done over the course of the game. I don't think the Steam version has bookmarks outside of the ones that you can put down here. Let me know if that's incorrect. I'm pretty sure that is the way to go. I don't use party bookmark. Yeah, no, like everybody, I'm not saying everybody does it, but I'm saying like most people will probably bookmark pages they frequently visit. For me, I frequently visit the inventory screen. So I have an inventory bookmark. I have a party bookmark. I have the raid screen bookmark. And then normally I have like a raid list bookmark, right? So like these are ones that I commonly use. I have a raid ID bookmark so I can join other people's raids quickly. And these are all one click away for me. If you are going through the game normally, to get to raid ID, I have to go menu, quest, raid, enter ID. And do you see how that takes a lot more steps than me just going from here, and then clicking my raid ID bookmark, and then I'm instantly there. So these are tips and tricks that browser players have learnt over the years. People will bookmark pages that they consider are important so that they have a one click away from them sort of thing. So I think the best way to do that for Steam players at the moment is to use these bookmarks here. So how this works is on every screen, there is a little star icon. Where is it? The star icon at the top. See that? You can click this and then that adds a bookmark on the front page. So this is my summons. So if I click this, we'll use the summon icon, confirm. It can now be placed and moved by customizing the home screen. So that is now there, and now it's there. So now whenever I click this, it takes me to my summons. So I think get used to using the bookmark system here for things that you visit a lot. So you can use your homepage as a bookmark sort of thing. So yeah, this is, I think, the non-browser bookmark equivalent. Is there a way to bypass reroll error? I can't create any more accounts VPN. You need a different IP address. If I'm using old UI, don't use old UI. That's the only way. It's not available in classic UI. It just isn't. Great seeing you in Jenna's ad stream. Seeing you play Experience again after playing so long was something else, yeah. It's very insightful for me as well. You can log into Steam account on Skyleap, but you need the Steam URL link. There we go here. Old UI user. Yeah. No, like some people like the old UI, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some features are only available on not classic UI, modern UI, I think it's called. Or even is it miscellaneous? I actually don't know where it is. Home screen? Yeah. And you can see here that those buttons are now gone. They just don't exist. Wait. Naki has a code. Raid battle's full. I like the crustiness of the old UI. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Any thoughts on actually getting on Discord and coaching him, or wait until he gets out of academy first? If that's something Janazad is interested in, then I'd be happy to do that, but I don't know if he wants that. I mean, I've never actually interacted with Janazad until like 2 days ago, right? So I don't know how comfortable he is getting on call with someone he doesn't actually really know. Like, I would be happy to do that with any other, like, streamer as well. Like, if JJ wants to do that, I'd be happy to do that. I just don't know if that's something they want or are comfortable with, which I completely understand. Like yesterday, I think when I was leaving Genocide stream, I let them know that, hey, feel free to contact me on Twitter or something. But then I realized I didn't actually give them like my Twitter handle or anything like that. So I'm bad at it too. So I don't know how to contact them outside of on stream. So yeah. And like, I also don't want to be like the person who's like, have you guys ever had a friend or someone who's obviously very excited about something, but they're like too overly eager, and it ends up hindering your enjoyment of the game. I don't want to be that person. Do you guys know sort of what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's very intrusive, exactly. I want to let them ask me the questions if they want. But I don't want to be the first one to be like, hey, do you want to get on a call? And I can explain everything. Because, like, I'm thinking if I was a new player, I'd feel very uncomfortable with that. Exactly. So, yeah. If they want to contact me, I am more than open to it. I just don't want to be the one to initiate it, if that makes sense. Literally asks his chat for help, though. That's completely different as a streamer, though. Those two things cannot be equated. Yeah, not remotely the same thing. Asking chat for advice and someone asking the streamer if they can hop on a call with them to explain things is completely different. Yeah, asking chat for help is normal streamer behavior. It's a way of interacting. It's exciting to have friends show interesting things, so it's sometimes hard to keep it low-key, yeah. So I think the best thing I can do is just let them know that they're free to reach out to me. The better thing to do is to actually let them know how to reach, how to contact me. But, you know, I forgot to do that. Smiley face. Like I said, chat, I'm bad at this as well. I'm bad at this. But were you not in chat helping? Once again, that's completely different. Your Twitter is on your YouTube videos, yes. My Twitter is on my YouTube. My YouTube also has a link to my Discord as well, which then you can get to my Discord. No, Rico, Rico, that's completely different. Me being in chat and helping him along with his chat is different than me asking him if he wants to hop on a call and then I handhold him through the game. Those are two different things. Gotta hit them with your business card, yeah. And also, I think the thing to consider here also is that I also don't want to be self-promotional, if that makes sense. So I don't want to be like, check my YouTube for this and this. Unless it's on someone else's stream, I don't want to do that. Because that's just rude. So like, even if a way to tell them that, because it did cross my mind. I was like, afterwards I was like, when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I didn't actually give them how to contact me. I guess I could have let them know that it's on my YouTube, but then like that feels weird to do. And it's not something that normal people would do on other people's streams. You let the other person do that if they're okay with it, right? You let the streamer do it is what I'm trying to say. On the topic of promotion. Are there sites that post grids for raids outside of the wiki? I'm trying to find something safe I can do for Belial, and I don't want to have to rely on other people. What I recommend here is, I know you said not the wiki, but hold out with me for a moment. Go to advanced grids, and then on the front page of its advanced grids, there's this search term generator. So on this, you can click the raid you want. So in this case, you click Belial. I have a drop down that you can't see at the moment, but you click Belial. You click what element you want to do. So let's say you want to do, what do you say? I don't know, water. and then you click whether you're in Omega Grid or not, and then you can search on Twitter or you can search on YouTube. YouTube is generally better for older, like not older, but like non-current event setups. And Twitter is better for like Guild War, like current things. So go to YouTube in this case and do this. Right, and if you want like a full auto, then you can do that. If you want a solo, then you can do that. And then you'll get a bunch of videos here. And then you can use this as references. Oh damn, is that new? No, that's been there a long time actually. Why does Volfric Grand do like 5 times more damage than any of my units as a new player? Volfric's good. He's a good character. He's a good character that does a lot of upfront damage, which is what you want. I don't know who to ask for wiki editors, but the guide pages could get an update for more indexing. Stuff like your anti-ticket guide is stuck in the user pages. Oh, the guide page you actually have to purge. Hold up. You're talking about this, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to purge this. Purge cache. Let me see. I forgot to do this. Nope, not there. How do you add to this page? I forgot. Cajun, do you remember? It goes here somehow. I forgot. It's a template? I thought it's on... Oh, wait. Did I not uncomment it? Hold up. I might have forgot to do that as well. Wait. Any ticks... I might have forgotten to uncomment it, so it shows up there. Hahaha. Ignore what you just saw, chat. Hahaha. It's fine. Hahaha. I forgot. There we go. It's there now. It's there. Hey, that's a sand. Hi, just letting you know, in your TA page, earth filter instead of dark. Oh, thank you. Let me quickly edit that, I guess. TA page, thank you for telling me exactly what was wrong as well. Olivia Grand shows earth instead of dark, okay. There might be other characters like that too, so if you find any others, let me know. These filters are done manually. Olivia. So that one's fine, it's the other Olivia. Is she Olivia Grand? Yeah, there we go. It was just missing a Grand there. You gotta template this. It's too late to template it. If I template this, I have to go back and edit all of them again. At this point, it's more work to template it than to not. Are there more user-made guides like the anti-ticket one? I like how the characters are explained there? No. Unfortunately not. Template it and then script the conversion. I don't know how to do that. If you want to do it for me, Echo, thanks. Thank you. Hello, Bendy. How's it going? Wait. If I made the template, would you be able to script it? I don't know how hard scripting something like this is because I don't know how to do that. There's been a bunch in various user pages, but they're not always listed in discoverable pages, yeah. And the reason like these are all on user pages is because it's not... Firstly, some of these, by putting it on not a user page, it is essentially the wiki saying, hey, this is our list or whatever, right? Or this is our explanation or guide. And for it to be on main page or main domain, it needs a certain... For lack of a better term, there's more red tape. Does that make sense? It's not actually red tape. I'm just explaining it in a way that makes sense. Like very easily, I could have just put... I could have very easily just have put the anti-ticket page on main page as well. I could have probably have also asked to put it on the front page somewhere. But A, it's weird when I asked for that, because once again, it feels self-promotional. And B, these are me and 5 other people's opinions also at the end of the day. More than that, to be honest, but yeah. So it feels weird to have that on the front page when it's not specifically guide material and also specifically not just information, so yeah. Thank you for the Prime sub, Naru.
Subscribed with Prime.
What should I be spending silver renown pendants on? Early, are you a new player? First question, are you a new player? Because the answer changes, that's why. Hi DY, sorry to ask, but do I still recommend exo weapons for new players to pick? Yeah. Speaking of TA page, Yukata Song says she's light. Oh. Let me go edit that. Yes, with Steam. Okay, so with silver pendants, as a new player, you're going to be wanting to spend it on moons. There's going to be some here. I've already bought them, so the moons are gone. So you want to buy the moons. Those reset monthly. So on the first day of every month, you want to buy the moons. Other than that, early on, you're going to probably want to spend your pendants on the creeds and the distinctions. What these are the material... Sorry, let me rephrase that. These are materials that you need to get new classes. New classes require a lot of these. This is your easiest way of getting these. So I would reserve a bunch of your pendants for these things. Yeah, this is once you reach, like, I forget exactly at what point you need these. Like Signet said, it might be class 4. Yeah, it might be class 4. It might be class 3. I have to check the wiki. But at some point you need them. And that will be a decent chunk of your pendants there. If you are not at that point and you've maxed out on pendants and you don't want to waste any pendants, firstly, you won't waste any pendants. You just will stop getting pendants until you spend them, right? But if you really want to spend them, then you can go to silver relic shards and buy some of these because eventually you're going to need these. And these also have a monthly limit as well. But I reckon by the time you've bought your moons, let me just bring up a fresh account here to see what you can get. But I reckon by the time you unlock that, you'll be able to get it. So yeah, get the 3 moons. Get these 3 moons. All of them. Primal Beast Treasure, I don't think you really need. Uncapped Treasure, I don't think you really need. Oh, I will say, right, if you are unable to uncap a character because you just don't have enough materials, it's completely fine to use it. Like, you might be like, hey, I want to uncap my new character, my new Lyria. And then you go to this screen, and then you might just not have enough materials. Like these ones. These ones you can buy with these pendants as well. That's completely fine too. Basically, the answer here is spend it on what you need. Get the moons every month, but the rest, spend it on what you need. Is the sand thing worth getting? Yes, but you don't need it right now, and it costs a lot. And that doesn't reset, it's like a one-time purchase. So you can buy it later on. So yeah, this is very good. You need it for endgame things. But since you're not at endgame, you're just spending 20k pendants for something you don't need right now. I think it would be nice to feature more user page stuff on the front page in general. I agree. Make suggestions like that in the wiki code. Once again, it's a bit different when the person with the user page that wants to be on the front page suggests it, as opposed to someone who's a reader and thinks they should be featured on the first page, right? One feels self-promotional and the other one feels like a request, if that makes sense. It's nice seeing so many new players, yeah. Who would I reroll for? Bubs, right? If I were to reroll in Granblue in 2026, I would reroll for... Okay, firstly, just know that I am a serial reroller. I will not disclose how many accounts I made when I first started Granblue, but let's just say it was a lot. I would reroll for one character that I really like in 2026, knowing what I know now. At least one character I really like, along with either Bubs or Vesusia. That's what I would do. Depending on how much I wanted to reroll, I would aim for every, like, Bubs, Vesusia. No, I wouldn't actually care about that. I would reroll for Bubs or Vesusia plus a favorite character plus some meta characters. But that sort of sounds insane, I'm not gonna lie. And it sounds like you wouldn't be playing the game for a month. Which, if you want to do that, that's up to you. But I think Granblue gives you so many pools and gives you so many things to do that it's not necessary. You sicken me, says Mob. Make a few accounts and then roll onto the 31st and then pick one account. See, that's what you need to do if you're optimal. But that's boring. You don't get to actually play the game. But maybe that's fine, right? It was fine for me. That's what I did, right? What OGC Master said is exactly what I did. I made an undetermined number of accounts and then I logged in every single day, did free pulls on roulette every single day, did any other source of free pull that I could easily get my hands on every day from the start of anniversary to the end of anniversary, and then choose the best account. That's what I did. Now, some of these accounts would get pruned out early. Chat, hold. Let's pretend, let's just say hypothetically, I made 20 accounts, hypothetically. It wasn't me logging into all 20 every day. Some of these accounts would get culled. By day 3, it'd be like, okay, this one has no hope. I'm not trying anymore. AU sounds like unemployed, a thing to do. I think I was a student at the time, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't sound fun to me as someone who plays the game, but at the time it was fine for me because I wasn't committed to Granblue, and I was just pulling to see if I got an account that I wanted to play, and then decide from there. He made 30 accounts for sure. I'm not answering, chat. I'm not answering. I'm not answering. Sephir.com, thank you for the follow. What Eternal would be good to pick? I finished side stories and it gives me the item to choose one Eternal. Let me give you a link, one sec. Omikin has an FAQ page that I recommend you check out that talks about the Eternals and the Evokers, which one you should pick, things like that. If you guys started on Steam, you didn't miss out on much. Steam can't even reroll. You can only reroll on browser. Pretty sure I remember the ballpark figure. Okay, chat. Here was the condition for me. I made a lot of accounts, and I only kept the account, firstly. Okay, hold up. When I rerolled, you know how you... Okay, these days you get a free 100 pulls, right? Back then you didn't get a free 100 pulls. You only got like, what was it? Like, what did you get before new Skyfarer Step Up Special? It was like 10 pulls a day, and on the first day you can get maybe like 7 extra pulls or something. I rerolled at the time until I got, it was one of two conditions, right? The account needed, at the time, within those 20 or whatever pulls, I needed one of these two. This was my condition. Why is this so small? Font size XL. Okay, that's not XL at all. My account needed Zeta. It was this, basically. It needed Zeta plus Grim. V-Grim, this is V-Grim, Valentine's Grim. It needed that. This was on 6%. It was on 6%. It needed Zeta plus Valentine's Grim or Zeta plus Valentine's Clarice. Or my third condition was Charlotta plus, I'll say Box, just because it's shorter for this. Box plus Clarice plus Grim. These were my three conditions. These are my three conditions. And this banner, Valentine's, happens at February, right? So my accounts are from February, Valentine's. So this is what I aimed for. And I re-rolled a bunch of accounts. Is that Grand Zeta? No, Grand Zeta didn't exist at the time. This is talking about the free Zeta. So when you start the game, you get a rigged pool where you get one of 6 characters. It's the rigged character. This Zeta doesn't even matter anymore. But at the time, this is what I pulled for. I got none of these accounts. This never happened. This never happened. So I was only left with accounts that had this. So I made these accounts in February, but I didn't play the game. I had a couple accounts with this. Like some of these accounts would have been this. Some of these would have been this, right? I'm not going to tell you how many of these I had. But I knew enough that there was a roulette happening in 1 month, and I wasn't committed to the game enough. But I got a couple accounts with both things. And then I waited for roulette. And then during roulette, I logged in on all of them. And then at the end, I chose the best one. What I deemed to be the best one at the time. I don't actually know if it was the best one. It might not have been the best one. And by the way, in roulette, I also made a new account. So it had neither of these things. But I ditched those pretty quick. I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this when I really like these two characters. I'm just going to pick I'm going to pick this account anyways. So is Clarice good? No. It was just these two characters are characters that got me to check out the game. These are my favorite characters. V-Grim is still good, fortunately, but Clarice isn't. Lies. It's not lies. It actually is. This is why I started. So, I made an undisclosed number of... I got an undisclosed number of these accounts. And then rolled through roulette, tracked their results on a spreadsheet, and then at the end, I decided which one. And the best one is the account you see here. And the second best one is the new player alt that I often show on stream. But as you can see, I still logged in to some of these ones because like this one got Lady Grey, but it got V-Grim, so I was like, hey, good enough. So it looks like I didn't strictly adhere to that rule. It's mainly that my main had, as you can see here, if I go new, it has, where are we? It has Zeta and Grim. But yeah, this was also a reroll account here. And it had a bunch of characters that I thought were cool. Let's just see. Oh, this one I kept because it was both Grim and Clarice, I think. Yeah. No, and I didn't end up caring because I could get Clarice or Grim on my beginner ticket. That's why I chose the other one. I remember now. Not even fully uncapped and leveled up. I didn't play this account. I logged in for free pulls. I don't know where the beginner's free pulls ends because we've done free pulls on this throughout the years. But yeah, all of this is just from free pulls. I've never spent an extended period of time on this account. In fact, I don't even log into free pulls every day. Like, I haven't done the 10 pulls that we got earlier as well. I mainly leave this as an account to answer early game questions because it's an early game account, right? It's only rank 100. So it has not full access to everything. 100 Zeta, I think we made that when we were leveling up the crew. Should I trade 150 moons for Sierra's special pick ticket or get 000 summon? Oh, for a special Sierra's ticket to get 000. No, not right now. There's roulette happening right now. That's not something you should be doing right now. Roulette might give you 000 for free. Clarice was good because she let Dark be the one to clear plain damage labor back in the day. Funnily enough, when I first entered Far HL, Clarice was one of the first teams that I did. I think I played Winds first. I played Monkey, Urius, Valentine's Grim. But eventually when I got my Dark clear, I was playing Clarice. Hello, Quan. Spreadsheet gaming. Yeah, I have this spreadsheet still. I'm not going to show you guys the spreadsheet because it's going to show all the details. I forgot how many. No, it's fine. That's fine. Nothing. Boom, boom, boom. Set up a bot account to reroll. I would not do that. Automating things in Granblue is a way to get your account banned. If you think you're smart enough to work around it, be my guest. But generally automating anything that isn't, you know, clicking full auto, I mean like using scripts or, you know, things like that, that's how you get banned. My account was raw, no reroll, no seasonal banner on creation. Yeah, and I think Granblue's the type of game where that's completely fine. Anything that interacts with the game on your behalf is well into the red zone of ban-worthy. Yep. Regular Zeta for several months. I remember I started playing because of Demon Slayer collab. No, bookmarks are completely fine. It's things that are interacting with the game on your behalf. Bookmarks are not interacting with the game on your behalf. What's the % chance of Cygames implementing an auto-repeat quest feature? I think it's quite low because I think Cygames would rather just introduce more skips. I think it's very low. Because skips are essentially limited auto-repeats, right? Like when you do Angel Halo skip, that is, you get 10 Angel Halos instantly. And so you've quote-unquote auto-repeated it 10 times. I think any amount of auto-repeat that is like just doing a certain raid, I think anything that lets you automate the entire process of playing the game is not what Cygames wants. Cygames wants you to be able to full auto raids, but full auto farming every single raid is not what they want. Yeah, as close to 0 as you can get, I think. Yeah, I think they're more likely to introduce more raids like Horde, which are less interaction with the game, but not... Like, see how we have Horde, but not auto-repeat Horde? Like, those are completely different, right? Yeah, and Horde had a server infrastructure incentive. When are you releasing your secret FA setup for Vesusia? Oh, that one doesn't exist. Did a random person get timed out? I don't know how it works. Oh, no, I missed it. Yeah, random. I have to do it manually. Omike, no, that's not working. Next. Shadow Guard. Argentum, sorry. I'm at Omike now. That's not how it works. It doesn't work on mods. No, scam. It clearly states in the terms and conditions that mods are exempted. I'm sorry. Bonk Argentum. But I will riot. Yeah, the only way to hit a mod is through boom, boom, boom. Boom was diffused. You got to boom better than that. They should want us to FA 6 Dragons, Inians, and Malice because they're dead weapons. Well, you can, and that's what I do. Once again, it's an entirely different thing where you full auto in GBF, that is, right? It's an entirely different thing to be able to auto something, full auto something, and then to auto repeat the quest. I will hit Mr. Streamer with boom, boom, boom. Good luck. There isn't much content you can auto repeat. Yeah, it's really just like Angel Healer or something, right? Like you auto repeat Wilnas. Whoop-de-doo, you got one host. Auto repeat one host. Because you get one host for Wilnas. Unless you have premium pass, which it's 2. And most players don't have premium pass. So like M3s, you get 2 hosts. All right, whoop-de-doo. Or is it 3? Whatever it is. Yeah, it's mostly just sandbox Angel Halo. Do EXP boosting summons work with skips? No, they don't. But that shouldn't prevent you from doing skips. Skips in general do not get any benefits from EXP boosting sources like journey drops or summons. If you could repeat, you just set up the game on 20k pots on PBHL and go on vacation. Well, that's the other thing. Hosts have restrictions, so you can't actually... That doesn't work with how the game works, right? And if you're trying to full auto PBHL pubs, that ain't working. I think I thought Journey Drops effect skips. I think it says it doesn't. And by I think, I'm like 99% sure. Which is more valuable, the Sierra's special pick ticket or the 150 gold moon weapon? I suggest spending your moons on neither at the moment. We have roulette going on, which means that whatever you might pick with the Sierra special pick ticket, you might pull. And then the 150 moons, gold moon weapons, are getting updated later on in the year. So I suggest waiting for those updates because those updates are going to change how the weapons work and which ones are the best and not. If you aren't light, maybe generally though, you should be able to contribute either in phase 1 or phase 2 so the raid isn't a crawl. What did Pedodor say? Clearing Halo trial good enough to clear it nowadays in pubs. Yeah. I would try to do a couple more turns in between. Journey drops don't. I'm 99% sure. Yeah, I'm with Synchronize there. Let me get some water and some go to the bathroom and stuff, chat. I'll be right back. Be right back. 1 minute. I'm back. Hello. Chat room. I've been told, by the way, that the Sierra's Knickknack Academy firstly gives you the rare weapons to upgrade the shop. That's correct, right? And then secondly, I've also been told that when you try to reserve the weapons, it gives you a warning. Can you guys verify that? Yes. Can anybody, if anybody is there, this is a very hard request. Does anybody remember what it says or have a screenshot of this? Because I want to include it in a video. Or at least be sure and like tell them exactly what it says. Yeah, it's like stage. It's not early in Sierras. That's why it's like a. I think this is a very hard request, and I sort of doubt anybody has a screenshot unless if someone happened to have a screenshot of whatever a while ago. I got a huge question, so be prepared. All right. How late is it into Sierras? I'm heading to bed. Bye-bye. Good night. All the weapons in the no time limit crate are premium ones. No, they're not. They'll have different text. Here, I'll show you. Someone find when you get it from Sierra's, by the way, what I was just talking about. Here, I'll give you an example. If I look in my crate on this account, see how this one says from the premium 10-part draw. If it has the keyword draw, it is from the gacha. But some of these won't have that. Have a look at this. From the ticket trade. That one is clearly not from the gacha. It's from me exchanging the weapon ticket from last year. So that is a little different. So no, not everything in the no time limit crate is from the gacha. There are some things, and story completion rewards also go here, by the way. So if I look through here, pretty much if it has the word draw, it's from gacha. But if it's like ticket trade, then that's not gacha. There will be story ones too. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a Tiamat Fist here. No, I don't. But yeah, like if you get it from the story, it'll be like from completing chapter whatever. How long has Academy been in the game for? Let me see when the wiki page was made. Wiki page was made in 2025, February. So 1 year. From the new Skyfarer 10-part draw. Yeah, so it will say draw. Anything that doesn't say draw is probably not from the gacha. Yeah, when you complete a chapter, it'll be like from completing chapter X. So yeah, there's that. I think it's aspirant echelon after all the other regular steps. Okay. Yeah, if any of you guys get there, and so a couple things. If you guys get there, do you mind trying to reserve these things and getting a screenshot for the warning? For the rare weapons to upgrade Sierra's shop. Like, I would assume that it only warns you if you haven't already upgraded the shop, right? Oh, it came out April 24. It was much later than that. Oh, okay. There we go. My bad. Is there a way to separate them? I kind of want to reduce the premium SRs because I'm running out of crate space for weapons. Okay, you're talking about your regular inventory, right? So in your regular inventory, not the crate. So you can't put things in the crate. You can only take things out from the crate. But in your inventory, what you can do is scroll down, click reserve, and then in reserve at the top, click sort. And for weapons, you can do this. But your crate is infinite. So I would imagine you're talking about your inventory. And in your inventory, you can always reserve these ones. So you can click OK, and then you can click auto select. And if you have some, it will show up here, and then you click OK. Like, I'll show it on my other accounts once again. So once again, you would go inventory, scroll down to reserve, and then you would click sort, and then you would click all of these ones here, except SR. And then you would click auto select, and then it will reserve all of these. If you've already done that and your inventory is still getting full, then you have to sort of start dealing with your SR weapons, right? Because that's the one we didn't take care of. As for SR weapons, you want to reduce or you want to reserve them depending on if they were gacha or not. If you've already picked them up from your gacha, from your crate, there is actually no way to differentiate them other than their design, which is unfortunate. Like if I click reduce and we're looking at SRs, if you're new, you're not going to know if this is from the gacha or if this is from the from farming. So yeah, it gets a little bit tricky, unfortunately. Actually, hold up. There is a way, right? It's a roundabout way, but we can actually do it, I think. Wait, can't you do this now? Settings. No. Auto convert settings. Weapons. Reserve. Yeah. Okay. So what you can do, hold up. What you can do is you can click on an item. If it says Omega, right? Then do you get any other SR weapons that aren't Omega, chat? Yeah, you can set it to Omega. You matched against Zane. How'd it go? You beat him, right? Event SRs. Okay. Well, at the very least, what you can do is that if the the Omega SRs are level 1, like this one, not the fully leveled and the skill level ones, but these ones, what you can do is on every unique one, you can click it, scroll to the bottom, and then go auto conversion reserve. And then you can do that for each of the new ones here that aren't level maxed, right? And this means that anytime you get this drop in the future, it will auto reserve. So Omega, you can do that safely, is what I'm trying to say. The good ones you'll get from Sierra and they'll be maxed out. And plus auto reserve only does. Anyways, hold up. I'm jumping too far ahead. So you would do that for each one. And then you would go reserve. And then you would click auto select. And then you would add the SRs, right? And then in this case, it's going to pick out those weapons now. I'm pretty sure. No, that still doesn't work. No, it won't. You want to set it to auto. No, it doesn't. I'm trying to think of a roundabout way to make it work. But yeah, there's the event SRs. Because these showed up. I don't even know if that's event. Is it event? It is. Seraphic's not it can't be reduced. It's fine. By the way, this is why I say don't pick up things from your crate. Because once it goes into your inventory, it becomes harder to sort. Because if it's in your crate, any gacha SRs always go to your crate, right? As far as I know, there are no SR event rewards. It's always SSR. So anything SR in your crate, you can just reduce here. It just becomes tricky when you've already picked it up and they're in your inventory now, which sort of means I think you have to just go through and sort it. Chat, if you guys have a smarter way about this, let me know. I thought we might be able to game the system with like Omega filter and other things, but I don't think there is. I got first round and proceeded to get perfect 4 times. I don't think I've scrapped any of them, but if you scrapped what Sierra gave you, are you cooked? No. Random question, maybe too loaded, but as a content creator for GBF, how large would you say the English audience and player base is for GBF right now? I don't know how to give like a quantitative answer on that, I'll be honest. Before Steam release, what I would say is that in the grand scheme of like gacha games, it's a small community. It's a small community where many people who interact with the community would probably, I don't know, what's a good way to say this? Before Steam release, I would say it's a relatively small community, especially compared to other gacha games. But the English community is big enough to be a major consideration for the game's direction as well as balancing and things like that, I would say. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to give just like a, hey, this is a number, because we don't have like, I mean, there's Steam charts now, but that's not indicative of how many English people play, because a lot of us play on browser as of right now anyways. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say. Sorry, is my question a lot? I don't think I got to your question. Let me read it. One sec. It might be my bias, but the EN community feels more like a community. Yes, I think GBF has a really strong sense of community. And a lot of the time, it's what keeps people playing as well. All right. Second one, Joel Shukra Delafi Matera. I'm gonna reroll more, but what account is better? It's hard to say because I don't know which versions of characters you have. Characters have multiple versions. So like, for example, Metera has 3 different versions you could potentially pull, which is Grander Metera, Fire Metera, and Wind Metera. I don't know which one you got. Like Wind Permanent Metera. And there's 2 Wind Meteras as well. So giving me an element often isn't the best statement. Basically, you're looking for reroll advice. The best way to do this, honestly, is by giving images. And I would drop that in like Discord or something and ask and tell people, hey, I'm looking for reroll advice. But ultimately, you said you're going to keep rerolling for Vesusia, so I don't think my answer really matters, right? Is there a good way to protect your gacha SSRs so that you don't like reduce them or something? Yes, you can favorite them. I would only do this for SSRs, by the way. Things that you don't absolutely want to reduce or accidentally get rid of. By the way, if you do accidentally get rid of something, you can always get it back within 24 hours. But what you can do, see how this one has this red border? That means it's favorited. Has this lock button. If I go down here, I can't reduce and I can't reserve. It's disabled for me. To do that, you just go down to the bottom of the weapon and you click favorite. It cannot be sold or absorbed until it is unfavorited. And now it has that red border. So for gacha things that you consider important, you can do it. You can do that. But once again, if you do accidentally reduce or reserve or sell something bad, Alrust, thank you for the raid. If you do reserve something by accident, you can get it back. Rooster raid, don't get your feathers in a twist. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Wait, I forgot to follow JJ. I just remembered. Let me do that. Hope you had fun playing Gran Blue. We've gotten so many raids. Yeah, we've got a bunch of raids today, honestly. I think some people are new to the game, some people aren't. Dio is getting so many raids. He's due for a gold bar drop. -2. -2. Was yapping about my interest to find friends and viewers while slowly farming Diaspora. Oh, I see, I see. I remember Diaspora farming. It's been a while since I've done join Diaspora teams. How's Diaspora these days? Is it still... I've heard people complaining about hosts not being gamma and instead they're like beta or alpha. It's fine. You've yet to try the new Odis raids, I see. How am I? I'm doing well. Just answering lots and lots of questions at the moment. Albert in the background, excellent choice. Yeah, it's on a rotating thing, so there's a lot of different art there. You full auto your A100? Yeah, I full auto my A100 too. It's not consistent though because I don't have. I'm missing some tools, and I haven't done enough testing. I have to finish a few, but it's whatever. I read on Reddit that it's 10 per day, and yes, even if I use VPN game live to give me error, I need to wait. VPN should get you around it, to be honest. Basically, you just need a different IP. So, yeah. I haven't rerolled recently. The last time I personally rerolled was when I started the game. Maybe someone, if anybody has more experience in this from like recent history, maybe you can help PS5 here, but from what I know, you should be able to do more than 10 if you use a VPN. So the words zombify pop up and you immediately flinched, yeah. Diaspora is a mixed bag, I found. Depends on the time of day. Yeah, I can see that. Kind of crazy how slow it is compared to before. On the topic of rerolling PS5, if you aren't able to reroll effectively and like it seems like you're committed to rerolling, which is fine. I don't know how many accounts you've made, and I don't know how many accounts you've kept track of, but the best thing to do is just make a couple of accounts if you're rerolling, and then just log in every day for roulette, and then just keep track of the rewards. So like make 10 accounts, log into them, and then do the free pulls, and then you decide which account at the end. That's if you're really committed to rerolling. I do think at the end of the day that doesn't sound very fun unless you're weird like me. But if you are also weird like me, then that's what you would do. And if by the end you don't get Vesusia, that's fine. There's plenty of other good things in the game, and it's not like you need it. Maybe until 30th of March, yeah. It's just that you're not actually playing the game up to that point, which which might be fine for you. I don't know, but it's not something I would ever suggest to another player. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I just think that's sort of boring when, like, think of it this way also, like, during those 20 days from now till the end of the month, you could be progressing your account, but you're not. That's the other big thing here. Right now, you could be farming for a spark on Octavia banner for summer characters and farming for a spark at the end of the month. If you're rerolling, you're essentially giving up that option too. Amare said, what's the skill damage after MC Ogis, before Agastia and Atum? The Mana Diver CCW is what it is. Hey, how do you skip skill animations? You can't skip skill animations. The only way to quote-unquote skip skill animations is to reload the page. But when I click this skill, there's no way to like skip that animation right there. Maybe reloading is what you're talking about? I'm not sure. How to skip CA animations. Oh, you will have a button here, which says like CA, usually, unless you have quick summon on, but I'll show you here. If you don't have a button here that says like CA, not this one, there's like a CA animation button. But if you don't have that, another way to get to it is just if you open the character portrait, on the CA top right, it says effects skip. So if this is on, they will do their long animation CA. But as you can see, mine was off. So there's a short version and a long version. The short version skips part of the long version. You can also click on the character, yeah. You can click here, like my mouse, it's on this character. If I click it, you see how it says charge attack animation on, charge attack animation skip. You can also do it like that. Whichever one you find easier. Have I made a new player guide for people? Because some people say they can't pass through the menus. How can I convince them to try it again? Well, I don't think that's on you to really try and convince them or anything. If they've dropped the game because they find it hard to navigate, then I think that's completely fair because the game is hard to navigate. It's very overwhelming too. I think all you can do to help really is to offer advice when they ask it, in a very simplified and concise way. But I am working on a new player guide, yes. I have been requested to make a guide on how to navigate the game, but I'm honestly not even sure how to approach that because there are so many things that are second nature to me now that I don't know what is and isn't a problem, because there are some things which are clearly a problem, like this is a problem, but this is also a problem that disappears at the end of the month. It's very bad right now, but it's not anywhere near as bad usually. So it's about navigating the game, but I don't know what parts I need to explain. So I'm thinking about it, but I'm just not sure how I would structure a video like that, and I don't know what topics I would talk about. Maybe open a survey to new players and gather questions from there, perhaps. But right now, the new player guide is my highest priority, and new player guide is not about menuing, it is about the game. Hey DUI, I'm planning on starting a Steam GBF account. Is there anything that'd be useful for you all to catalog on the wiki? Oh, yes. iStar, do you have iStar? I think pretty much everything to do with Sierra's Academy. To be fair, the clutter nonsense on browser doesn't exist for Steam players. No, that's not true. No, that's not true at all. It doesn't matter if it's on the home screen. It doesn't matter if it's here or if it's off to the side. Like Steam has it here. It doesn't matter if it's there or there. The point is, look at how much shit is here and you don't know what's what. And half of them look the same. This isn't even all of them because I've bought something, so it's gotten rid of it naturally because I've already bought it. Like, this is not okay. No, let's not pretend, chat. I love GBF, but I cannot excuse this. This is nuts. When I, as someone who's played this game for thousands of hours, has trouble navigating this, that's a problem. Like yesterday, literally, Genazad bought and completed this, the Spark, and then they went home and they wanted to pick their Spark and they didn't know which one to click again. So what did they do? They had to click things one at a time and figure out which one's which. Like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter that it's here or if it's here. The point is that they're all together and it's not clear what's what. And the names don't mean much if you're a new player. Like beginner draw set, birthday step up special. What does step up mean? Like, if you know the game, it makes sense. As a new player, it doesn't. And even as a veteran player, I remember coming to here and I was like, chat, where's the classic Spark? Because as a normal person, I see step up special here and I don't see it anywhere else. So I'm like, oh, logically, I think they would group the step up specials together, but it's not here. And I scroll down to here and I start seeing events. I'm like, oh, I guess it's coming out later. But no, it's at the very bottom for some reason. Why? I'm ranting again. Yeah, none of these say anniversary ticket as well. But everybody refers to it as anniversary ticket. I was victim of that too, which is why I ended up changing my YouTube title to 12th birthday draw set to make it very clear. So yeah, no, this is inexcusable. This should be separated between purchasable promotions and story, at the very least. Maybe even another one for just free tickets. This is not okay.